The restaurant was glowing that night. Golden chandeliers dripped light like honey onto tables dressed in white silk. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine tea and expensive perfume. Waiters glided between tables like dancers, careful not to disturb the soft murmur of luxury. Then the doors opened, and in walked Arrogance wearing a navy blue suit. Vincent Li, a self-made millionaire from Shanghai, had arrived with 3 business partners. He was famous for 2 things, his wealth and his cruel sense of humor. He laughed loudly, spoke louder, and loved to remind everyone in the room that he could buy anything, or anyone. As they took their seats, his eyes landed on a waitress standing by the corner. Tall, graceful, and calm in her blue uniform. Her name tag read Amara. "Perfect," Vincent smirked. "Let's see how good the service is tonight." Amara approached with a professional smile. "Good evening, sir. Would you like to start with something to drink?" Vincent leaned back, smirking. "Tell me something, miss." "Amara, do you speak Chinese?" She paused for half a second. "No, sir," she said politely. "But I can certainly learn a few words if you'd like." His friends chuckled. Vincent waved a hand dismissively. "Learn? No need. Let's make it interesting." He pulled out his wallet and fanned a stack of crisp bills, $100 notes glinting under the chandeliers. "I'll give you $100,000, he said slowly, "if you can serve me my meal in fluent Chinese." The whole table erupted in laughter. One woman covered her mouth, trying to hide her amusement. Another man whispered, "She probably doesn't even know an I how." For a brief moment, the restaurant went silent. Everyone nearby had heard. Amara looked at the money, then back at him, her eyes steady, unreadable. Inside, her heart was pounding. Not from anger, but from something deeper. Something that whispered, he has no idea who he's talking to. Vincent was power. Loud, rich, unfiltered. Amara was grace. Quiet, patient, unshaken. Born in Ghana, raised in London, and educated in Beijing, Amara had worked her way through university by learning languages. 9 of them, each one a door that had opened another world. But tonight, she wore none of those doors on her sleeve. Tonight, she was simply a waitress until he challenged her worth. She placed her notepad on the table. With a calm smile, she asked, in perfect Mandarin, "先生, 您想喝点什么?" "Sir, what would you like to drink?" The table froze. Vincent's smile faltered. "Wait, what did you just say?" Amara repeated, her tone flawless, her pronunciation native. "I asked what you'd like to drink, sir." A hush fell across the table. One of the businessmen blinked in disbelief. That was perfect Chinese. Amara nodded politely. "I also speak Japanese, Korean, French, Arabic, Spanish, and Swahili. Which one would you prefer I serve you in, Mr. Li?" A glass clinked. The laughter that once filled the room had evaporated. All eyes were on her, the waitress who had just shattered a millionaire's ego without raising her voice. Vincent stared at her, speechless. Then suddenly he laughed. Nervous, hollow. "Well played," he muttered, trying to save face. "You could have told me earlier." Amara tilted her head slightly. "You didn't ask, sir. You assumed." The room felt different now. Even the chandeliers seemed to glow warmer. The business partners who had once mocked her were now silent, their eyes lowered to their plates. Amara served their meal gracefully, speaking to them in their native tongues. Japanese to one, Korean to another, Mandarin to Vincent. Every word was smooth, respectful, and confident. For the first time that night, Vincent didn't know where to look. His laughter had vanished, replaced by something rare, shame. As she poured his tea, he murmured, "Where did you learn all that?" Amara smiled faintly. "From the people who once mocked me for not being enough." Every insult was just another reason to learn. Vincent swallowed hard. "I didn't mean," she gently interrupted. "You meant to test me, and you did. But the real test, sir, isn't language. It's respect." The table stayed silent. Even the clinking of glasses had stopped. Somewhere, a piano began to play softly in the background, a melody that carried both apology and admirations. Later, When the dinner ended, Vincent waited near the counter as his friends left. He walked over to Amara, holding the same $100,000 he had flaunted earlier. "I was serious," he said quietly. "You earned this." Amara looked at the money but didn't reach for it. "I don't need your money," she said softly. "Just promise me one thing." He raised an eyebrow. "What's that?" "Next time you meet someone who looks beneath your expectations, don't test them. Listen to them." For a moment, the proud millionaire stood in silence. Then, for the first time that night, he bowed slightly, a gesture of genuine respect. "You've taught me more in one dinner than my mentors did in years," he said. "Thank you, Miss Amara." She smiled. "You're welcome, Mr. Lee. Have a good evening." When the doors closed behind him, Amara exhaled, her hands trembling slightly. She didn't feel victorious, just peaceful. The challenge wasn't about money or pride. It was about dignity. And though Vincent Lee drove away that night in his luxury car, something in him had changed. For the first time, he realized that the true measure of success isn't how many people you can humiliate, but how many you can learn from. The next morning, the restaurant manager handed Amara an envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. "Thank you for reminding me that knowledge speaks louder than wealth. Vincent Lee." Folded inside the note was a check, not for $100,000, but for a full scholarship fund in her name, to teach languages to underprivileged students. Amara smiled through tears. Sometimes, lessons don't end in classrooms, they start at dinner tables. Sometimes, the quietest people carry the loudest truths. And sometimes, respect is the only language worth learning. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe, like, and tell us which language you'd love to learn in the comments below.